Hello everyone and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. Our first slide is titled 4 Language Skills of English. This presentation will explore the key skills you need to master in English: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. We'll briefly go over each of these areas and see how they work together to improve your language proficiency. So let's get started. Now let's take a look at the types of language skills. This slide highlights the different skills involved in mastering a language. As you can see, there are 4 main types: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Each of these plays a crucial role in becoming proficient. Understanding these categories helps us see how language is a comprehensive skill set that requires balanced development. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore each of these in detail, emphasizing how they connect and support overall language learning. Keeping this framework in mind will help us grasp the full picture of effective communication skills. Let's start by exploring the concept of language skills. These are the abilities that enable us to communicate effectively, whether it's speaking, listening, reading, or writing. Each of these skills plays a crucial role in how we understand and share information with others. When we develop strong language skills, it not only enhances our personal interactions, but also opens up opportunities in professional settings. Throughout this presentation, we'll see how improving these skills aligns with our overall goal of effective communication. Remember, mastering language is a continuous journey, and each skill complements the others to create a complete picture of communication competence. Let's take a closer look at the overview of language skills. First, we have listening. This skill is fundamental because it helps us understand spoken language, whether in conversations, lectures, or media. Developing strong listening skills allows us to grasp context and nuance, which are essential for effective communication. Next is speaking. This is about actively using language to express our ideas, participate in discussions, and engage with others. It's not just about pronunciation, but also about confidence and clarity in our spoken interactions. Moving on to reading. This skill enables us to interpret written texts, absorb information quickly, and understand different styles and vocabularies. Reading is crucial for learning, research, and staying informed. Finally, we have writing. This skill involves organizing our thoughts clearly on paper or digital formats. Strong writing skills are vital for professional communication, academic success, and expressing ourselves precisely. Together, these 4 skills form the core of language mastery. Improving each one enhances our overall ability to communicate effectively in any context. They are interconnected, and developing proficiency in all of them supports our broader language learning goals. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of language skills. When we talk about language skills, we're referring to the various ways we can understand, produce, and use language effectively. Broadly, these skills can be divided into receptive and productive categories. Receptive skills include listening and reading, where we receive and interpret information. Productive skills involve speaking and writing, where we express our thoughts and ideas. Understanding these distinctions is crucial because each skill requires different approaches and practice methods. For example, developing strong listening skills helps us comprehend spoken language in real time, while reading enhances our ability to understand written texts. On the other hand, speaking and writing enable us to communicate our ideas clearly and confidently. Connecting this to our overall theme, mastering all these skills creates a well-rounded language proficiency, which is essential for effective communication in any context. So, recognizing the different types of language skills allows us to tailor our learning strategies and become more proficient speakers and listeners. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of language skills. First up, we have the receptive or input skills. These are the skills that involve understanding language, such as reading and listening. When we're processing information, we're essentially receiving and interpreting the language around us. It's like taking in data to build our understanding. On the other hand, we have the productive or output skills. These are about actively using the language to communicate. Writing and speaking fall into this category. These skills require us to produce language, whether we're expressing ideas in writing or engaging in conversation. Both types of skills are crucial because they complement each other. Developing strong receptive skills helps us understand and interpret language effectively, which in turn supports our ability to produce clear and accurate output. So, mastering both is key to becoming proficient in a new language. Let's talk about listening. Listening is a crucial skill that often gets overlooked, but it really forms the foundation for effective communication. When we listen actively, we're not just hearing words, we're understanding the message behind those words. It's important to pay attention, to really focus on what the other person is saying, and to show that we're engaged. This helps build trust and rapport. Remember, listening isn't just about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about truly absorbing the information being shared. Connecting this to our overall theme, mastering listening skills enhances collaboration and helps us respond more thoughtfully to others. So, let's keep in mind that listening is as vital as speaking when it comes to effective communication. When do we actually listen? Well, there are several key moments in our daily lives where active listening plays a crucial role. For example, in everyday life, we listen to understand others, whether we're having a casual conversation or trying to connect on a personal level. Then, there are question and answer sessions, where attentive listening ensures we grasp the details and respond appropriately. During lectures and group discussions, listening helps us absorb information and participate meaningfully. Instructions are another important time. Listening carefully allows us to follow directions correctly and avoid misunderstandings. And finally, brainstorming sessions and presentations require us to listen actively so we can contribute ideas effectively and build on what's being said. All these moments highlight how essential listening is in almost every aspect of our communication and interaction. Understanding when and how to listen helps us become better communicators and more engaged in our relationships and work. Let's talk about the importance of listening. First, it's incredible how good listening skills can actually improve our speaking and pronunciation. When we listen carefully, we pick up the correct sounds and intonations, which helps us speak more clearly and confidently. Second, listening also plays a key role in developing our interpersonal skills. By truly understanding others, we build better relationships and communicate more effectively. It's important to remember that listening is a receptive skill, meaning it requires active participation. You can't just passively hear. You need to engage, focus, and really process what you're hearing. This active involvement makes a huge difference in how well we learn and connect with others. So overall, listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about engaging with them, enhancing our speaking abilities, and strengthening our interactions. Let's take a look at some common issues we face when listening. One major challenge is uncertain comprehension. Sometimes, we catch only part of what's being said, which can lead to misunderstandings. Missing words, concepts, or instructions can also happen, especially if the speaker is fast or unclear. The speed of speech itself can be a barrier. When someone talks too quickly, it's hard to keep up and process everything clearly. Another issue is the lack of confidence to ask for repetition. Many of us hesitate to do so, fearing it might seem rude or disruptive. This can cause us to miss important information. Additionally, familiarity with local speech, such as accents and vocabulary, plays a big role. If we're not familiar with a particular accent or regional words, understanding becomes more difficult. Hearing difficulties are also a factor. Whether temporary or ongoing, hearing issues can significantly impact listening. Recognizing these issues helps us understand why listening isn't always straightforward and reminds us to be patient and proactive in improving our listening skills. Now, let's look at some effective solutions for improving listening skills. First, active listening is essential. This means participating fully in the conversation or lecture, rather than just passively hearing the words. When you're actively engaged, you're more likely to understand and retain information. Next, expanding your vocabulary plays a crucial role. By reading key vocabulary and doing some background reading, you build a stronger foundation that helps you grasp the meaning behind the words more easily. Engagement is also vital. Interacting with sounds and words keeps your mind involved and alert. Mental repetition is another key strategy. Reinforcing what you hear through mental review helps solidify the information in your memory. Listening to media like radio, TV, or podcasts can be very helpful here. These are great tools to practice and reinforce your listening skills in real-world contexts. Preparation is also important. Being aware of the subject beforehand allows you to follow along more smoothly and understand the main points better. And finally, don't hesitate to ask for clarification when something isn't clear. Asking questions ensures that you're on the right track and truly comprehending the material. All these strategies come together to make you a more effective listener, which is a core part of mastering communication and learning. Let's talk about speaking. This part is crucial because effective communication is at the heart of everything we're trying to achieve. When we speak, we want to be clear, confident, and engaging, so our audience stays connected to our message. It's not just about the words we choose, but also about how we deliver them. Our tone, pace, and body language all play a role. Highlighting key points thoroughly helps ensure that our message is understood and remembered. Remember, connecting these points to the overall theme keeps our presentation cohesive and impactful. So, when you speak, think of it as an opportunity to inspire and inform, making every word count. So, when do we actually get to speak in different settings? Well, first up, we have class group discussions. This is a great opportunity to share your ideas and listen to others, helping to deepen your understanding of the subject. Next, there's group task work, where teamwork is essential and clear communication really makes a difference. Then, during seminars and presentations, you get to express your thoughts in a formal setting, which is fantastic for building confidence and refining your communication skills. We also have Q&A sessions and lectures, which allow for immediate clarification and engagement with the material. And finally, one-on-one sessions with personal tutors, doctors, or employers. These are more personal, targeted conversations where you can really focus on specific questions or concerns. All of these different moments to speak are crucial because they help us develop versatile communication skills that are essential both academically and professionally. Remember, each setting has its own tone and purpose, so adapting how we speak is key to being effective and confident in every situation. Let's talk about the importance of speaking. It's arguably the most obvious and interactive skill we use every day. When you speak effectively, you not only convey your ideas clearly, but also connect with others on a deeper level. This skill really enhances our interpersonal abilities, especially in teamwork situations where clear communication is key. Moreover, speaking helps develop a better understanding of others' perspectives through open dialogue. It's also a critical component in assessments, where your ability to articulate your thoughts can make a big difference. So, mastering speaking isn't just about talking. It's about building relationships, understanding, and demonstrating your competence in various settings. Let's talk about some common issues in speaking that many of us face. First, lack of confidence can really hold us back. When we're not sure of ourselves, it shows, and it can make our message less effective. Another challenge is decoding nonverbal information. This means understanding body language, facial expressions, and gestures, things that are often more telling than words. Being able to interpret these cues helps us connect better with our audience. Uncertainty about timing, vocabulary, and interaction is also a big hurdle. Not knowing exactly when to speak, which words to choose, or how to engage with your audience can make the whole process feel uncertain and stressful. And finally, a lack of knowledge of presentation skills can make a big difference. Knowing how to structure your talk, use visuals effectively, and manage your delivery can boost your confidence and improve your overall impact. All these issues tie back to the overall theme of becoming a more effective speaker. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them and enhancing your communication skills. Let's talk about some practical solutions for becoming an effective speaker. First, seize opportunities. Take every chance you get to speak. Whether it's during class discussions or casual conversations, every moment is a chance to practice. Next, observation is key. Watch native speakers, pay attention to how they pronounce words, their intonation, and their body language. It's a great way to learn natural speaking patterns. Asking questions is also very important. Engage others by inquiring about things you don't understand or want to know more about. This not only helps clarify your doubts, but also builds confidence. Repetition is another powerful tool. Practice what you hear. Repeat phrases, sentences, or ideas until they feel natural to you. Then, don't forget to utilize available resources. For instance, the academic skills resources in the presentation space can offer valuable support and guidance. Lastly, if something isn't clear, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. It's better to clarify than to remain unsure, and it shows your commitment to improving. All these strategies connect to our overall goal, becoming confident, effective communicators in any setting. Now, let's turn our attention to reading, which is a crucial part of effective communication. When we talk about reading here, we're emphasizing not just the act of decoding text, but also how we interpret and understand the material. It's about engaging with the content on a deeper level to truly grasp the message being conveyed. This skill is essential because it helps us connect with our audience more effectively. Remember, good reading involves active listening, even when we're the ones speaking, and making sure our message is clear and compelling. So, as we continue, keep in mind that reading is a key tool in our communication toolkit, helping us to reinforce and clarify our ideas while engaging our audience. So, when do we actually do most of our reading? Well, it happens in many different contexts throughout our day. For example, during lectures, presentations, and tutorials, we need to read to understand new concepts and follow along with the instructor. Then, there's the time we spend with Blackboard and course documents. These are essential for keeping up with assignments, resources, and updates. We also do a lot of coursework and research, especially when we're browsing the internet for articles, data, or references to support our work. And outside of study-related reading, there's social site reading at work and home, which includes things like reading emails, messages, or even casual reading for relaxation. The key takeaway here is that reading isn't confined to just one setting. It's a continuous part of both our academic and everyday lives. Recognizing when and where we read helps us become more aware of our habits and how we can improve our reading efficiency across these different areas. Let's talk about the importance of reading and how it connects to our overall learning. First, reading informs our writing and writing style. When we read a variety of texts, we naturally pick up different ways to express ideas and craft sentences, which enriches our own writing. Second, reading helps us expand our vocabulary, especially with specific terms related to different subjects. This makes us more precise and confident when discussing complex topics. Third, reading develops our understanding of language structure, how sentences are built, how ideas flow together, which is essential for clear communication. Lastly, reading helps us establish our register and purpose. Depending on what we read, we learn to adapt our tone and style to suit different audiences and goals. So, in essence, reading is a fundamental tool that shapes how we write, speak, and think across all areas of learning. Let's take a closer look at some common issues in reading that many learners face. First, reading speed can often be a challenge. Some students read too slowly, which impacts their overall comprehension and ability to keep up with the material. Then, there's the issue of comprehension difficulties. Understanding what they're reading isn't always straightforward, especially with complex texts. Decoding new words can also be a hurdle. When students encounter unfamiliar vocabulary, it can slow them down and cause frustration. Another important point is the relevance of the material. If the content doesn't seem interesting or related to their lives, students may struggle to stay engaged. Vocabulary challenges are also significant. Having a limited vocabulary can make it hard to grasp the meaning of texts, which in turn affects overall understanding. Lastly, the volume of reading required in studies can be overwhelming for some students, especially if they haven't developed efficient reading strategies. All of these issues are interconnected and can hinder a student's ability to become confident, fluent readers. Recognizing and addressing these challenges is essential in supporting their reading development and ensuring they can access and enjoy learning from texts effectively. Let's talk about some effective solutions for improving your reading skills. First, remember that reading is an active skill. It requires engagement and focus, not just passively glancing at words. Second, it's important to work on your reading speed. The faster you can process information, the more efficiently you'll be able to handle larger texts. Third, adopt smart reading strategies. For example, you can skim a text to get the overall gist or look for specific information, rather than reading every word carefully. Now, when you encounter unfamiliar words, don't stop every time to look them up. Instead, try to decode their meaning from the context of the sentence or paragraph. That keeps your reading flowing smoothly. Also, use tools to develop your vocabulary, whether through textbooks, apps, or online resources. Building a strong vocabulary makes a big difference in understanding and retention. Finally, combining these techniques, speed, smart reading, contextual decoding, and vocabulary development, will make your reading more effective and enjoyable. These strategies connect directly to our overall theme of becoming more confident and efficient readers. Let's talk about writing. Writing is a crucial part of communicating ideas clearly and effectively. It's not just about putting words on a page, it's about crafting a message that resonates with your audience. When we write well, we can influence, inform, and inspire others. One key point to remember is that good writing is often a reflection of good thinking. Take the time to organize your thoughts before you start typing. Also, clarity is king. Make sure your message is easy to understand. Remember, writing is a process. It involves drafting, revising, and editing. Connecting these points to our overall theme, strong writing skills empower us to share our vision and achieve our goals more effectively. Let's talk about when we actually write during our course. First up, coursework. This is often an ongoing process where we develop ideas and produce work over time, allowing us to deepen our understanding. Then, of course, there are exams, which usually require us to recall and apply what we've learned under timed conditions. Tutorials are another key moment. These sessions give us a chance to engage actively, ask questions, and clarify concepts. Moving on, group work is also a big part of the writing process, especially when we're collaborating on projects or presentations. Presentations themselves are a form of writing, too, as we prepare our ideas to communicate clearly to an audience. Lectures, while primarily a listening activity, often come with note-taking and reflection, which are vital writing components. So, in essence, writing happens at multiple points throughout the course, not just when we submit assignments. It's a continuous process that ties into all these different activities, helping us learn, communicate, and demonstrate our understanding effectively. Let's talk about the importance of writing. Writing is actually the main method we use to assess understanding across many subjects. Depending on the area you're working in, you'll encounter different formats, styles, and functions, so it's quite a versatile skill. In academic contexts, there are strict methods and conventions you need to follow to ensure your work is clear and credible. This skill becomes especially essential during exams, where clarity can make all the difference in demonstrating your knowledge. Overall, mastering good writing skills is crucial because it helps you communicate effectively and succeed in various assessments and real-world situations. Now, let's talk about some of the issues you might face when writing in an academic context. One of the main challenges is a lack of knowledge of key language structures. This includes understanding how to use words effectively, constructing clear sentences, organizing paragraphs logically, and developing coherent texts overall. Without a solid grasp of these elements, your writing can become difficult to follow. Another important aspect is understanding register and purpose. Knowing when to use formal or informal language and tailoring your writing to suit the specific task or audience is crucial. This awareness helps ensure your writing is appropriate and effective in conveying your message. It's also essential to recognize that writing styles can differ significantly between your native country and the UK. These differences can influence how you approach academic writing and may require some adjustment to meet expectations here. Additionally, you may encounter challenges with note-taking, paraphrasing, and maintaining academic conduct. Effective note-taking helps you gather and organize information efficiently. Paraphrasing is vital for avoiding plagiarism and demonstrating your understanding. And adhering to academic conduct ensures integrity and credibility in your work. All these issues highlight the importance of developing strong writing skills and understanding the cultural and contextual expectations. By addressing these areas, you'll become more confident and successful in your academic writing journey. When it comes to effective writing, leveraging the right resources can make a big difference. I recommend taking advantage of the Learning Development Group's resources, like their classes, appointments, and workspace. These are great supports to help you improve your writing skills. Being aware of academic conventions is also crucial. Familiarize yourself with the student handbook, referencing guides, and library resources, because understanding these standards will strengthen the quality of your work and ensure you're meeting expectations. Engagement is key, really immersing yourself in the writing process for academic purposes. This means actively participating, revising, and seeking feedback to develop your ideas clearly and confidently. Lastly, don't hesitate to disclose any learning needs, such as dyslexia or other challenges. Sharing this information allows for tailored support, making your academic journey smoother and more successful. All of these solutions, using available resources, understanding conventions, engaging fully, and being open about your needs, are interconnected and essential for mastering effective writing. So, in conclusion, what we've covered today really underscores the importance of understanding these key concepts. We've seen how they fit together to form a cohesive strategy that can drive real results. Remember, the most critical takeaway is to keep these ideas in mind as you move forward, applying them thoughtfully to your own projects. Connecting everything back to the overall theme, it's clear that a well-informed approach can make all the difference in achieving success. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing how you implement these insights. Thank you all for your attention today. I hope you've gained a clear understanding of the 4 essential language skills in English. These skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, are the foundation of effective communication. Remember, developing these skills together will help you become more confident and proficient in English. As we've discussed, each skill plays a vital role and they all support each other in your language learning journey. Keep practicing consistently, and you'll see steady progress. Thank you once again for being such an engaged audience. I wish you all the best in your continued language learning adventure.